really
う
close
わ
to
ーす
the
ごい
services.
なこ
So like,
れ
exactly, what would
ジ
you
ョージア
have?
も
So
欲し
what
い
you
な
get in Kyushoku, it's very balanced. Usually carb, soup, and main dish, and like side dishes.
いっぱ
I
い
don't remember.
そしてめちゃ It's
For
very
example,
good
white
healthy
rice with like green peas on top, and
Yeah.
miso soup with mushroom, tofu, and seaweed in it. Main dish would be hamburger, and
ハンバーグ
ほうれん草のごまえ。
全部美味しそう私食べたいこんにちは皆さんテリチャンネルのテリですいつも動画を見てくれてありがとう今日はですね日本の子育てのビデオを見ていきますひなたちゃんは日本とジョージアどっちがいいはい皆さん見ていきましょう123 OK
Kids are raised in Japan.
おーかわいい
Go is Japanese. I am Filipino American, raised in the States. We kind of want to share what we're going through here in Japan, trying to raise Wolfie. You know, some of the surprises
so
that we've
that's
had along the way, especially surprises for me because, you know, Maiko grew up in Japan, so she experienced a lot of this. But this is kind of like what the stereotypical way to raise a Japanese kid would be. But again, it doesn't apply to everyone. Everyone's different. Also, we kind of wanted to know what you guys thought about some of these things that we're going to talk about in this video. How it
そう
applies
で
to
すね
your
私
country,
も
how it
興味
relates to
深
your
いですひ
country.
なたも日本人だから
In
な
this video, I decided to join because I did
日本人とジョー
experience
ジア人
being raised in Japan,
Yeah.
and I have Japanese parents,
Yes.
so I just wanted to share my experience.
Definitely.
Guys?
言葉か
Before
わい
we
い
start, like always, if you want to help support the channel, check out the Hold My Miso merch. And if you guys want to see what we're doing on the daily, check out the Instagram accounts. And if you guys have any questions about Japan or your Japan travels, check out the Discord community right here. Let's say hello to
Hi.
everyone before you go.
こんにちはかわいい
You're such a smiley
声
boy.
だった
Bye bye. So this one is kind of crazy. Japanese moms spend only 2 hours away from their baby each week, whereas I think compared to American mothers, they'll spend 24 hours away from their baby. So basically,
Wow,
there's
それ
like
す
no
ごいな。
time ever where the baby is apart from the mom. Right? At least in Japan. Why do you think that is?
Well, in Japan, babysitters are not so common. I mean, it's changing. Like nowadays, it's
そうだな
like
ジョージアもあんまり
but back
あの
in the
ベイビー
days,
シッターがいる人がないで
babysitters,
す
Yeah.
and people expect you mothers to almost like suffer and like give everything, you know, for baby.
そうだな
It's
難しい
actually a
な
good thing. They value
お
suffering
弁
of
当も
mothers.
作るし毎朝早く起きるし
Like a more respected
だから
mother
めちゃくちゃものがあるな
sacrificing for the babies and
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
That's kind of surprising to us, but you know, times are changing, so that's
So,
not
yeah.
necessarily the case for maybe some parents these days, but it's still one of the kind of mindsets that a lot of parents have in Japan. So the next thing was, I don't know if it was so much of a shocker, but I kind of anticipated it just because of the size of our apartment. But the sleeping arrangements here in Japan and sleeping in the same room with your baby and with your child. In fact, if you've seen our day in the life video with Wolfie, then you know that he sleeps in the same room with us, not in the same bed, but he has a crib right next to our bed. I think 88% of kids between 0 and 3 sleep in the same room with their parents,
そう
and
で
about
すね
68,
ひなたも私と一緒に寝
of
ま
kids
す
that sleep in the same bed as their parents. But I mean, it's
そう
common for
ひなたも
kids to, like,
私の
be
ベ
in
ッドに寝
elementary
ます
school and
別
still
の
be
ベッドで
staying
全
in
然
the
寝
same
な
room
かっ
with
た
their
本当に
parents,
毎
sleeping
回
in
や
the
って
same
ました
bed,
けど
right? Until maybe they're
Yeah.
like 10 years old or something.
Like for me, when I was a kid, our house wasn't that big, but
Yeah.
since we had 3 kids,
Yeah.
we used to sleep together in the same room. We call it a kawanoshi. We sleep like a kawanoshi means sleep next to each other.
So I think one of the differences in Japan is they don't have beds, they have futon mattresses.
そうです
So
ね
you have kind of like this bedroom with tatami mats. People just lay out their futon mattresses and not just like
So-
beds just lined up,
So
right? like you're in an orphanage.
Yeah, it's on the ground. It's on the
It's on
floor.
the ground.
Yeah. In our
そう
case,
です
like we
ね
moved. My
ジョージア
parents
は
moved
ベッド
to
がある
house
よ
when
Yeah.
I was in
でも私は今の家も日本スタイルで寝ます
room.
下
So
に
like
寝
I
ます
think it really depends on the family, like when you get your own room. But usually like it happens in elementary school or junior high at the latest, I think.
We'll decide as he gets old. He's almost 6 months now, so we'll see. So this one kind of piggybacks off that one. It's taking a bath with your parents, especially the opposite sex, and how long they do it here in Japan. So for example, right now we're just giving him a bath separately, but I think at the age of maybe 3 to 4 months, that's when parents start to take baths for their kids like that young, and they'll like soak them in the bath and they'll give them like a proper bath together. But this like continues on, and the facts show here that
ひなたはまだ8ヶ月ですけど、まだ別にするよ。一緒にはあんまり良くないと思うかな。
And then like when they're 12, 14%, all the way up to 15 years old, like 3%. That's 3 out of 100 kids will like take a bath with their mom at 15 years old.
You'd be shocked
Yeah.
as a Japanese as well?
I'm pretty shocked.
Yeah, as a Japanese as well.
Okay.
That happens.
Well, this one was kind of weird where it says over 20 years old, 6%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking.
私はね、22歳ですけど、I haven't swim with my parents at all, even mom or father as well.
Still take baths with their dad. How old were you when you took a bath with your dad? What was the age?
小学校年少かな年中かな I actually don't remember, but I remember like I felt kind of weird.
That's one of the things. How does that compare to your country? Let me know in the comments. So this one is kind of more a general thing when they're growing up, and how to kind of teach them or correct your child when they do something wrong, and just like kind of show them the way. In Japan, typically they show a lot more empathy teaching their children. So for example, instead of like saying, oh, you did something wrong, you're gonna get arrested, it's more of like, how is that gonna make the other kids feel when you take their toys or you do something? So it's like more of a show of like empathy.
Yeah, exactly. How I brought up, or like how my mother taught me what I was doing wrong, is usually to think of other people's feelings.
そうですね。それはめっちゃいいと思う。
Or let's say I was screaming and then jumping around in like a public place, and then my mother would be like, "Don't bother people." You know, like, not only the feelings, but also like you don't want to bother other people. And we say like 迷惑をかけない. So it's like how it's gonna make others feel. So you don't want to kind of disturb harmony. You don't want to disturb like the peace. Everyone is quiet. Always think about others. Life thing. It's not like, oh, you're gonna get arrested. You're breaking the rules. No, she never said that.
I think it's great to be able to get along with a group, but then at the same time, as someone that's always trying to get along with a group, you kind of lose your opinion and your thoughts, and so you don't actually think on your own. You're always thinking, okay, what does the group want to think? Maybe we have to kind of have a mix in there so that my son has kind of also, considers the group and is empathetic and wants the best for the group, but also has his own opinions about things, and maybe we'll be okay to kind of stick out once in a while.
Yeah, totally. I think, to be honest, like me growing up, always have to think about others. I have to put others' feeling before what I want to do.
それはあまり良くないと
So I
思
never
う
get to do
な。
what I want to do.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
So,
いや、あんまり良くない
oh,
か
I
な。
feel bad for her, so I guess I'm not gonna do that. You know, that kind of thing? That will like lose your personality or lose your
Yes.
you know, like,
そうですね。
identity. Does it make sense?
You won't develop your own uniqueness.
Yeah.
Well, another interesting thing about Japanese culture and raising kids is that discipline is not only from parents, but it's also from groups, meaning that you go to school or you join like clubs, and the discipline is kind of like shared throughout the community. So it's not just from your parents, which could be a good and bad thing, I guess. Maybe in some cultures you're like, no, the parents are the ones that are responsible for the discipline. But in Japan, it's kind of like a shared communal thing.
Yeah, I feel like as I grew up, I was always in the environment that I have to follow the rule. That applies at school, the club, after school. So I think if you're in Japan, you're naturally going to be disciplined.
Yeah. I think what's also interesting is even as a little kid in school, you clean all together. I'll be walking by
そうですね。
like
これはめっ
nurseries,
ちゃびっ
and
く
I'll
りす
see
る、本
like
当に。
kids literally wiping down the entrance of the school and like wiping down like the
Elementary school?
like nursery or something.
Nursery school. I feel like I started in elementary school.
Okay.
But, yeah, but it's good to learn how to be
かわいい、
responsible
み
for
ん
your
な。
own.
The kids were like could barely stand, and they were like they were like they were teaching them how to like wipe the windows and like.
They're probably not like cleaning that well.
No, they were terrible at
But
cleaning.
Yeah, they're learning.
They're learning. So
So cute.
they teach them at
Kawaii,
such a
kawaii.
young age. I guess to sum it all up, the parents don't have to discipline the child by themselves. They have the community, they have the schools, they have the circles, they have the clubs to help discipline. So this one was another surprising thing, especially just walking around in Tokyo, which is like one of the massive city, is seeing kids walk to school by themselves, and they're small. They're probably like
これは
5, 6,
私難しいよ
and they're walking to school by themselves in the city. Not only are they walking, but they're taking the trains, right? They're taking the buses, and they're all by
わあ、すごいな。
themselves.
すごいよね。
Shoot, Wolfie, when he's 5 years old, we're gonna let him walk around the city
ね
all by
そうだよ
himself.
ね。
When you were growing up, did you walk around by yourself?
私心配ですよ、それで。
I'm from really countryside, and there's like other big kids in that like close neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we meet up in the morning, and then we all go together. And there's always big kids watch out for little kids.
Yeah.
So I think it was pretty safe.
In that case, like the kids walked in as a group. It wasn't like they were individuals, but I've seen cases where I've seen kids just
Yeah,
by
yeah.
themselves.
これも多分いいこともあると、
Train and
I
bus.
think it's a little bit bad to be bad
Yeah,
because
we'll have to see.
I still
whether or
feel
not
it's a
that's
little
gonna be
bit
okay for us,
dangerous.
but,
but good is that they are starting to live by themselves even such a small age.
どこに入ってんのよ。
And this next one was kind of a pleasant surprise, and it's how
そ
healthy
れはめっちゃいい。
here in Japan, right?
Very
ジョージアはめっちゃやばいこれ。
compared to the States.
Compared to the States, yeah. I don't know about other countries and what they serve
まあそうだね。
for lunch. Yeah, so in Japan, they have kyushoku. Do you want to explain a little bit more about it?
So kyushoku, it's usually served for elementary school and junior high, maybe
Yeah.
some high school. I don't know. Maybe not. Like 92% or something of the schools are using it. So like basically almost all of the schools are using kyushoku, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very balanced. The
Yeah.
menu changes every
Ah,
single day. They
すごい
have
な
that
これ。
eiyoshi, the
Yeah.
nutrition,
Nutrition?
nutrition.
Yeah.
Plan everything out for a whole month, every month. The kyushoku company actually likes.
うわーすごいなこ
So, like,
れ。
exactly, what would
ジ
you
ョージア
have?
も
So
欲
what
しい
you
な
get。in kyushoku, it's very balanced. Usually carbs, soup, and main dish, and like side dishes. I
いっぱい。
don't remember.
そしてめちゃ
For
It's very
example,
good
white
healthy.
rice, like green peas on top, and miso
Yeah.
soup with mushroom, tofu, and seaweed in it. Main dish would be hambagu, and
ハンバーグ。
ほうれん草のごまえ。
全部美味しそう。私食べたい。
It wouldn't be the same every day. They would just alternate throughout the week. So you have like
Yeah.
entire months like, worth of menu
Yeah, every day is different. And you get gyunyu.
and milk. And what's interesting is that the monthly
牛
fee
乳
for that is
肉
about
をよく食べてるな。
Yeah.
4,300 on average.
Something
へ
like that.
ー
That's for
It's
elementary
less.
school, and then about 4,900 yen for junior high. I guess it's
安いよね。
安い
I
安
wanna
い。
get that too. It's so cheap.
Yeah, it's because they're producing meals for 92% of the schools in Japan, right? Because they make it in volume.
Yeah, moms don't have to think of the menu every single day or like
Yeah.
cook. Making the bento is such a work. So.
But that's still
Yeah, so
something
this
that
way.
they do. Like a lot of moms will still
う
make
ん、まだやっ
I
て
know,
ますよ
they
ね。
do, but like on weekends. 保育園と高校じゃないかなね。
Yeah.
義務教育で給食 is provided.
So yeah, I just remember in my school we had like pizza and like a cheeseburger and tater tots, and the cheeseburger was like
私の学校はもっとやばかった。
School's trying to kill you.
yeah, it was just the most unhealthy food ever.
Wow.
I'm glad that Wolfie has like healthy options, but if we
So,
decide
and
to make food for him, then that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think just overall it teaches kids like good food education, right?
そうですね。
And so they know like, okay, this is not good for me. Like I shouldn't be
う
eating.
ん
I
you know.
think at least you think the kyushoku as a standard,
Yeah.
like not healthy but standard food, like what you should have in a meal.
And then I think this last one is maybe will haunt us if Wolfie ever watches this video. Is it's not out of the ordinary for kids to grow up with their parents and live with them after they graduate from high school and college.
Very common.
In fact, 18 to
当時もそうです。
34-year-old single men, about 69% of them still live
お
with their
ー
parents. I think women it's about 59%. It's common.
もっと
34
少
years
ない。
old and still living with your parents is quite a big deal in some other like, Western countries.
Yeah.
But in Japan,
Yeah.
it's normal.
I wouldn't get surprised if somebody tells me like, oh, I live with my parents. You'd be like, oh, okay. But like Western person would have a different reaction, right?
Yeah.
そうですね。
If you're watching this, you might be living with us at 34. Yeah. Alright, so that concludes the video. If you like this video, help us out and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more of
めっちゃ
these
面
types
白い
of
なビデオだ
videos,
った。
my
興味
videos,
深い。
alright, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button. Okay, guys.
楽しかった。It was very helpful this video. このビデオからいくつかのものはもう知ってたけど、いくつかは知らなかった。It was very good information to listen. なぜなら私も日本人の子供がいるとずっと考える。例えば学校の始まるはどこでいいか、それともそんな感じでいっぱい考えるから、I think、for ひなた it's much better if 学校に行くときは日本になる。ここの勉強のクオリティは全然違うです。学校も全然違うですよ。本当にだから日本の方が3倍4倍ぐらいもっといいと思う。フードは体操、学校のフードはめちゃくちゃいいですよ。本当に。And this is very good that every day it's changing and it's not same food, you know. In school we don't have a big lunchroom, you know. Even just we have a very small buffet and most of the things they are selling there is bread with cheese, bread with beans, bread with potato, everything with bread almost. And everyone is eating bread in Georgia, but for health is really very bad. だからひなたは I'm very looking forward when she will grow up. どこに行くのはもっと好きになるか、それもめっちゃ知りたいです。I'm feeling very happy to watch this video. そして I feel very happy that I have ひなた and I feel very happy she's half Japanese and 私もすぐ日本に行くからね。では今日のビデオはここまでです。最後まで見てくれてありがとう。次のビデオでお会いしましょう。またねー。